Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books. Today we are talking about Todd McFarlane publishing DC Comics. It is true, he is starting to publish a few DC Comics. We can see where this is going to lead. We're going to cover this from the article from Cosmic Book News. We're also going to talk a little bit about David Zaslav targeting DC Comics for all of its failures and getting ready for change. In addition, Warner Brothers has figured they may as well cancel DC FanDome while they're at it because they're canceling everything else almost. And lastly, DC has opened a new direct distributor. They are selling more comics. These guys are going to sell internationally for DC. In addition to other distributors, they are still moving books. So comics are slow, but they ain't dead. And hey, if McFarlane's interested, that could change the game. Let's get into the first article. Before we do, be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications, and give me a thumbs up when you like it because it sincerely is a huge help to me when you do that. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Todd McFarlane publishing DC Comics, The Flash, Black Adam, Injustice 2, It's All True. The comic books come with the new 7-inch line of action figures from McFarlane Toys Page Punchers line. That's McFarlane Toys line. Rumors have been flying about Todd McFarlane taking over DC Comics, and while it hasn't happened just yet, it's learned McFarlane is publishing comic books for The Flash, Black Adam, and Injustice 2. The comic books are part of McFarlane Toys Page Punchers line, where the 7-inch action figure line feature comic books for The Flash, Black Adam, and Injustice 2. The Black Adam action figure line and comic book is already out and features Black Adam, Batman, Superman, and John Constantine, and the figures look fantastic. If you haven't seen them, you gotta see them. They're great. Of course, it's McFarlane. The Injustice 2 comic book and line features Batman and Green Arrow and gets released September 15th, so this has been in the works for a while. The Flash line gets released on October 3rd and features the Flash, the Atom, Captain Cold, and Heatwave. And worth a note for the Flash line is the description state the characters are, quote, based on the exclusive included comic designed by McFarlane Toys. See below. So, I mean, he's designing the comics, he's designing the toys, he's publishing DC Comics. Will he take it all over? Let me know what you think in the comments below. McFarlane Toys already has a Page Punchers 3-inch line that comes with previously published DC Comics, so the 7-inch line will feature original Todd McFarlane published comics from DC Comics. So the 3-inch line are the cheapy ones. They're like $9.99. These ones are a little bit more expensive, but they're 7-inch figures, which look great. And they're original comics. So, you know, who's not going to want to buy them, who's into the comics and the characters? Now, it's already been reported David Zaslav and Warner Brothers Discovery are targeting DC Comics as the company is apparently a huge failure. It is losing money. It's not working out. So according to the former Green Lantern artist, Ethan Van Sciver, he's predicting that Todd McFarlane will eventually take over all of DC Comics, where possibly McFarlane will license DC Comics from Warner Brothers Discovery. You know, who knows how the deal's going to work? Is it going to be co-publishing? Is it going to be licensing? Maybe McFarlane feels like being CEO of DC Comics. Anything could happen. It's up to McFarlane and Zaslav, but they're already working together, and Zaslav is going to notice success. There's no question about it. And Ethan's information and his predictions is usually actually very good. And as somebody, he already makes his own comics and toys. He knows what he's doing. DC used to have its own action figure company, DC Direct, but that was closed. That was during when AT&T owned Warner Media, which was owner of DC Comics, and it wasn't making money. You know, and I can guarantee you Todd McFarlane is not losing millions on his DC Comics. He's making money. That's why he does them. And if you can't make money from these things, obviously, what's the point of making them? Now McFarlane Toys has the license for the DC action figures, and he's doing a damn fine job. No one disagrees. So maybe Todd McFarlane will also eventually publish all of DC Comics, which would be a most welcome change to the author at Cosmic Book News, and me too. It would be amazing to see Todd McFarlane's creativity and energy from his toys, from his creativity in general, just kind of get fueled into DC Comics characters. It's great for DC, but it's also great for comics in general, just to have stuff that people get excited about. This is a cover of the Flash comic. It looks exciting. It looks dynamic. And the toys look great. Really, the toys look fantastic. And these are not, the super most expensive high-end things. For a 7-inch figure, the detail is incredible. And of course, I'm going to give you a link to this in the article below so you can go ahead and check out all the product details on the toys. I think with Zaslav looking at this, it's very easy for Zaslav, for his financial people, to just ask, like, well, what's working at DC Comics? What are we happy about? And then what are we sad about? And those are expressed by numbers or impact on the brand. So, for example, Batgirl might have actually been profitable for DC Comics. It's not that it was going to, quote, lose money. But it's not just about lose money. It's about where does this leave the brand when it's done, when it's been released. Batgirl, obviously, was not going to leave the brand in good hands. It was not helpful to the DC universe that they're trying to build because DC is looking to replace Marvel. And they very likely will at this point because they're dollars and cents people. Let me know what you think of that in the comments below. DC is, McFarlane's not working for Marvel. McFarlane's working for DC, licensing their characters, putting together their comics, putting life and energy into it. He's got his own stuff. Spawn Universe #1 sold 500,000 copies through comic stores. That's a huge number. It's astronomical. That was just a year or two ago, very recently. That's a big number. McFarlane does not need to put his energies into DC characters. He's doing it because he wants to. And obviously it's profitable too for him. But, he doesn't have to. He clearly he wants to. And there's results. So he's definitely got an ear of David Zaslav to understand, like, well, what would you do for DC Comics? What do you suggest? For me, I keep saying graphic novels, because you don't need periodicals anymore. A publisher friend of mine was saying, a larger independent publisher was saying, well, we could do the periodicals and then collect them as graphic novels later. And like, okay, that's fine, but it's not the same. Especially the way DC's been doing the content recently. A lot of that stuff, like, it doesn't have the same interest when it's collected as a graphic novel. You also have a lot of pricing power. You can charge a lot for a graphic novel, basically. You can make money with the damn thing. And when you got Todd McFarlane, you could pair it with a toy if you wanted to. I mean, I don't know what toys he's making, what their future plans are, obviously, but, you could have an event a week and a toy a week. Like when they were doing New 52. I never understood 52. Like, well, that's like 52 weeks. Why don't you just release a new #1 every week and make it an event every week? I have to, Dan DiDio and I are friends, I think, on Facebook. I've got to ask him that one day. I just never understood why they didn't do that. But McFarlane could pull it off. Let me know if you think McFarlane could pull it off in the comments below. Could he pair a graphic novel with a toy, make graphic novels events? I think he really could, but I don't know if it's worth it to him or not to do that. In addition, while Warner Brothers is canceling everything that doesn't work for them, they figure they may as well cancel DC FanDome. So here they are canceling DC FanDome. I've seen a number of articles. This was given to me by Leg Kick, this one. I saw a few other versions of this. I just like the Yahoo Entertainment one because I like the tone from the author of like, well, they figure they may as well cancel DC FanDome while they're at it. It's not like they're so blasé about it. The main thing about them canceling DC FanDome is there have been a lot of in-person conventions, which gave a lot of opportunities for fans to meet creators directly. And also, they have to figure out like what they want to be promoting or not. Because otherwise, of course, they do DC FanDome. They start talking up this project. They're talking up that project. But everything is still in flux right now. So they don't want to get consumers' attention in one direction or another direction about future projects. Why? Because they're still figuring out who's going to run all of the DC universe for their 10-year plan. They're still figuring out exactly what movies they're going to release when. They just made a deal with the guy who's going to be putting out Batman 2, but even Batman 2 doesn't have a date announced. It's still in flux. So right now, they don't need to be promoting things that are in flux. Because as soon as they do, and then they pull back on a couple of those projects, they're going to get harassed for it. Last but not least, I think it's important to keep this in mind, especially when talking about Todd McFarlane making DC Comics, is DC is still actually shipping comics and graphic novels. They are selling stuff, even though a lot of the content, everyone knows is not really that good. They do diverse things. They do all sorts of things. But there isn't a lot of passion for what DC is publishing right now as a line, generally. But DC has opened a deal with a new direct distributor. This is coming from Internal Correspondence Volume 2, which used to be published by Capital City Distributors, one of the original direct distributors from back in the day. Now they do this business website. DC Comics opened a new direct distributor, signing a global agreement with Canadian company Universal Distribution. So Canadian company Universal Distribution will distribute comics internationally with DC. They're excited about it. DC is excited about it. I'm a little excited about it. Why? Because just more comics in more places is more better for everybody. If McFarlane puts his energy into comics, that's good for everyone in comics. It's just good. You have to put life into these things or they don't exist. And you have people willing to put their energy into it, that's great. Universal Distributors is going to distribute tons of DC comics, fantastic, go for it. So they're based in Canada, but they're going to ship internationally. DC now distributes through graphic novels and comics through Diamond UK, Lunar Distribution, and Universal Distribution. DC also has a relationship with Penguin Random House, a very big company, publisher services for graphic novels worldwide. Which is why, again, you keep going back. I go back to graphic novels because graphic novels, you can sell them in multiple places. Even places you sell toys, you can sell graphic novels. Especially if they're designed and packaged along as part of a toy line, right? I mean, already you've got McFarlane publishing these comics with these toys. So why couldn't you put a graphic novel with a toy and then sell them in multiple locations? Let me know what you think of that idea in the comments below. Maybe I need to send somebody a bill for that because that's a pretty damn good idea. Although Todd McFarlane's kind of already doing it first. Again, great to be with you today. Let me know what you think of this story. Let me know what you think of the legend Todd McFarlane. I'd love to see your comments below. Please do subscribe to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. And give me a thumbs up when you like it. You know, it really sincerely is a huge help when you do that. I really appreciate your support of the channel with likes and subscriptions. Of course, sharing it out as well. All right, I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.